using trail cams. It's a perfectly adequate little camera. There's a few flaws in it, but it's perfectly adequate. Came in this lovely little box. You've got 16 megapixel sensor apparently, but I've read somewhere it's actually 1.3 megapixel. IP66 waterproof rating, 2-inch LCDC screen, 0.8 second reaction time, 90-degree camera angle, and it's got full HD, so it's actually 1080 HD. It's not 4K, sorry. And so the box is actually quite nice. Bit of a bugger getting into it, but you've got a little plastic bag and thing that the SD card came into. So we can get rid of that and go onto the camera. So there's your camera, my camera. So you've got the LED, the black light, not black light because it's UV LEDs along there, sensor and a little flash LED type thing, camera lens and your sensor, and comes with a free strap for connecting it, and when you open it up, there you go, and there's some, you can't see them very well here, but you've got navigation menu things, and so slap it onto test. So test is where you do all the setups, and I have to say the it is not very intuitive, to be honest. In fact, it's pretty awful, the menus. So go into the media menu, mode back. See, this is the problems I have with it all the time. Go down, run through your media. Yep. And then you can play it or stop it. And what I do at this time when I can't do anything with it, I just go back to it and then go back into test. So hopefully, and it does have a bit of a lag. So this is quite buggy and it's quite frustrating, to be honest. I'll just get the lighting down. So and so that's on. So I've set it to take 3 photos and a 1-minute video when you go into it. There you go. And it's a real nightmare actually just getting to the menus you want. It's really buggy. So here you go, you've got date, time, timestamp on off, mode setting, so you've got photo, video, capturing video, auto power off, economy mode, but the batteries I found have been pretty good. Operate interval, don't know what that is. You can set passwords, you can set a serial ID, timer lapse, language format, the thing, default setting. Okay. I just find that the default settings are pretty much the best I have, but it is a nightmare to navigate the things. So you click it on there and you get a little countdown to tell you when the camera is actually active. So you've got 5 seconds and now the camera is actually active. Close it and then close it with these clips. Both again. Done. So that's a very quick thing about how to set up. So the rest of the video is actually going to be what I've captured so far and a few of the problems I've had and what I'm going to do to try and fix those problems. Okay, so hopefully it'll be a bit more interesting than my normal videos. Anyway, if you stuck at 5 minutes of this, good. Well, if you've made it this far, I commend you. It's not easy trying to make these things more entertaining and slightly more professional. One thing I forgot is you've got a USB port there you plug in and it just behaves like storage. Now in that last shot that I did, there was a problem with dew on the camera lens, quite serious problem with dew on the camera lens. And this is a common problem on a lot of trail cameras. So what am I going to do about it? I've got some Carl Zeiss lens wipes, and that's the first thing I'm going to try, and I've got some spray that I'm going to try it a little bit later. What do I think of the camera? It does the job. For me, right now, it does the job, and for 20 quid, I can't really complain. Now, there are slightly better cameras for beginners on Amazon, which I'll include links to down there, and they're only about 30 quid right now. Normally about 50 quid, only about 30 quid. And I think that that's your better option, to be honest, than buying it from Temu. Because you're never going to get something brilliant from there unless you're really, really lucky. But in all, it's a perfectly adequate camera. And for me, getting into the hobby of using trail cameras and just seeing the fox in the garden, it's perfectly acceptable. Anyway, thank you, and down there, you know what to do. Oh God, I'm not going to go down that route. It's still a long way off monetising this, and I'll probably never ever monetise this.